For this review, we've got the McFarlane Gold Label Spawn Call of Duty figures. We've got a tactical Spawn, and then we've got I guess we'll call him regular Spawn, although he's decked out with weapons and such. So both of these happen to be the sketch version. For me, this was the only way I could get these figures. I'm not always big into the sketch sign versions, but for whatever reason, I had a really hard time getting the regular versions and ended up getting the sign versions a little bit easier. So let's go over the packaging real quick. Both are pretty much similar. Difference is obviously the figure that's in the box. They do have this nice gold foil at the top for the gold label. On the back, they are a little different, and basically they have their photos of the figures that you get. And then we do have UPCs on the bottom. This one's going to be kind of hard to see because of how this is in the way, so I'll show that separately here in a moment, but they are both back there. All right, so let's get these guys opened. So the figure stands will be inside taped to the back. And then here we have regular Spawn. Here is the UPC if you need that. We got the little card, which is on a separate little tab. It is taped, so it took a little bit of effort to undo that. But you get to see what is included in the package. Nothing else in the back except for the cape. Same deal with tactical Spawn. And got the signed card on a separate tab. And then this is all the weapons that he comes with. Nothing else hidden in the back. All right, so let's get these guys all the way out of the package. Okay, so here they are out of the package. I haven't done anything with regular Spawn yet as far as the cape. The cape is wired in places, and when you get him, you kind of have this, when you get him out of the package, you kind of have this thing going on where the sides of the top part of the cloak just kind of point upwards. The way they've done this, the bendy wire stops here, so it's going to be a little difficult making this look normal, but I would suggest bending it at the top to try to give it more of that Spawn look. But as you see, it's just kind of, I think they would have done better if they had extended the wire down further. And as such, it's kind of difficult to make the cape look right. And then there is a thick wire on the edge, and you can pose it up, but then you got a bit of a problem in that if you try to pose it here, you're not really doing anything. So you're going to have to focus on posing it more toward the top to get some kind of flair with it. But it's the execution's a little weird. And then you can do a bunch of work, and then gravity will get in the way, or it'll, fall to the side in a certain way and kind of mess up your posing. However, I still appreciate that they did this. The only other, I mean, my big critique would be that they make this bigger and they put wires throughout the cape. I know it'll cost, make the figure cost more, but I think that would have been nice. So this particular figure, I'm pretty sure this is reuse of the original Mortal Kombat figure. I'll show him off, do a comparison with him in a moment. Outside of that, he comes with a lot of cool guns. I am really digging the guns that he comes with. I've heard some people say this is a way to give your other figures that didn't come with guns some guns, and that very well could be. Like you get all these black and red guns, and then you get this nice little normal looking gun that you can give to another McFarlane figure. All right, so that is normal Spawn, and then tactical Spawn. Basically, he's got a web harness. He's got this belt array, and then kind of like this padding. He's got some forearm padding. This is all separate. This is separate. This piece that's hanging off, it's set up so that you can imagine that this is connected to this, but it is not fully connected so that you have full range of motion. He's got these forearm guards. These are rubber and separate also. All these pieces here are separate, although they may kind of seems like these are glued in. And these knee pads are separate. And then he's got these boots, and I am pretty sure this is also the same Mortal Kombat body. Yeah. So they didn't even replace the hands. The head is also the same. So they basically glued these holsters on the hips, and he's got new feet. And I guess new lower calves. So that's tactical Spawn. That is pretty nice printing on the shoulder pad right there. Okay, so he comes with a lot of stuff. He's got a headset. He's got an Uzi. Or is this a Mac 10? I don't know. He's got this gun, very futuristic looking gun. He's got he's got Joker's long pistol. This is definitely for Joker. I don't think Spawn has this in Call of Duty. And then he's got this ridiculous missile launcher. Yeah, I'm almost certain these two guns are like make your other figure complete type accessories. And then these, well, one of the holsters is functional, and I guess you're only going to get this guy in there. Doesn't really go in all the way, but it'll get in there most of the way. And it's kind of interesting, these knives in the back, they're not removable. There's these holes here, and it kind of makes you think, oh, I can put something there. No, you can't. There's nothing Oh, let me take that back. Maybe you can you do this? Nope. These are sights anyway, but yeah, it makes you think that you can plug something in there, and none of these guns plug. They don't have a way of plugging into the back there. So, nevertheless, they can hold the guns well. That's the most important part. Even though these hands really aren't designed for these guns, like they weren't engineered to be gun holding hands. They were engineered to be his sword and his mace that they came out with. And then one last thing, let's go over the sketch cards, the signature cards. So two different colors, like that they did that. I wonder if he really signs these or if these are, stamped. There is some imperfection in how the lines are. It kind of makes me think maybe he did sign these. I don't know. But here's the front, and basically it's the artwork from the packaging. So these are cool. I like this. All right, so those are our figures. And then last, we'll talk about just a little bit where these figures come from. You know what? Looking at this now, this is not... Yeah, I think I pulled the wrong figure out. This is the actual figure that they're based off of. You know, I really thought this was the same figure. I just want to talk about that real quick. This is definitely more a comic book, and because it's nice and smooth. But this is our first McFarlane Spawn. That we just happened to get because of Mortal Kombat. And when I saw the solicitation for these figures, and then when I got the figures, I thought about how much these guys, like this texture on the skin looks a lot like the movie Spawn from the 90s. Not realizing how much they modeled Mortal Kombat Spawn to look like that. I wish I still had the original toy, but just something I just kind of realized, this guy is almost the 90s movie Spawn. So anyway, that's kind of cool. But taking him and doing these these variations to match the Call of Duty skin, I think was very clever, and yeah, I don't mind it. It's good usage of the mold, and it's, even though this thing, I mean, good lord, I think this thing is like, what, maybe 7 years old. It still holds up. So just thought it was kind of interesting. So that is the review. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about it. I can definitely see the people who make arguments for getting the third-party capes for these Spawn figures. I think this was an interesting attempt by McFarlane, but I'd like them to do better in the future. Please tune into more videos coming up, and if you haven't done so, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you.